pay attention, man. This right here, what I'm about to show you, you've never heard before, and it's going to sound weird. It's going to sound silly, but you don't need the bike to practice wheeling, okay? Matter of fact, it's better if you practice wheeling without the bike, okay? Because the bike is going to add extra confusion. You know what I mean? You're going to be moving at speeds, and you don't really know what you're doing yet. So figure it out, rehearse it before you get on the bike, okay? Practice before practice, if that makes sense. Now, what I like to do is I like to do the hand motions, what I would do if I was actually riding, and I visualize. So if you don't know how to clutch up your bike, first thing is learning how to clutch up. All right, if you never clutched up, you do power wheelies, or you just wheelie on accident, like, we want to be intentional. All right, so basically the way it works is you got your clutch, right? I use one finger, okay? One finger, and you got your throttle, all right? When you're riding, you pull in the clutch and you give it gas, and then you let the clutch out, okay? But you do it fast, okay? It's one motion, it's swift, okay? But keep in mind, the clutch is in, and the gas goes, it builds up the RPMs, and then you let out the clutch. So a lot of guys get confused, and they do it at the same time. They look like this. They go like, you can't do it at the same time. Because if you give it gas and you let out the clutch at the same exact time, the RPMs never get a chance to build. Okay, so it's the same as just doing like this with no clutch. Because the clutch was never in at the right time. It was out already. So imagine if you pull a rubber band. You pull a rubber band, and then you just let it pop, all right? Same with popping the clutch. You pull it in, you give it gas, and you pop it, okay? You pull it in, you give it gas, and you pop it, just like you would pull a rubber band back and pop it. You pull in the clutch in, and you pop in the clutch, all right? Then, understanding that concept, you need to learn how to do it smooth. You need to learn how to get your timing right. So when you really put it all together, I'm breaking it down and dumbing it down so you can understand each movement that's happening, okay? Because you want to put it all together in one smooth transaction. But you need to understand each piece before you can put them together fast, if that makes sense. So don't get confused. Understand, I'm dumbing it down. I'm breaking it down to the most basic level, okay? And I'm using analogies to explain what is actually happening and what the goal is. All right, so when you pull the clutch in and you give it gas and you let the clutch out, the clutch, it follows the throttle. All right, so just try to catch the rhythm. Watch what I'm doing. Notice I always make the sounds. When I was learning how to wheelie, I was just visualizing all the time. I mean, every champion, every professional athlete, anyone that we remember their names, they visualized being winners so many times before they actually became a winner. You know, before they won championships, they was visualizing it. They was sleeping, eating victory, okay? All they would do is think about that thing and visualize and rehearse mentally. This game is 90% mental. If you notice throughout this course or program, whatever you want to call it, it hasn't been me riding. It's been me talking, training the mind, training your mental. And that's the biggest separation. Because like I said before, I don't have an extra arm. I don't have an extra leg. My bike isn't special. It's a 2005. So it's what's going on inside the rider's mind. So a lot of this stuff, you will notice, like we're about to get into the riding aspect, but that's like the least important. It's understanding. So I really want you to record yourself. If you think this is silly, whatever. I know you never seen it before, but you also never seen someone wheeling 1,000 cc's through the mountains before either. Like you can't expect me to give you the same information as everyone else. Then I would just be like everyone else, and so would you. So, if you want to go to YouTube for the basic stuff, that's cool. But here, you're learning the next level stuff that no one ever talks about. All right, only the best riders know about this. I'm telling you, the best riders, they will say, man, yeah, I visualize all the time. I make motorcycle sounds all the time. Brah, brah. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best riders, they do this. That's why they are the best, because they dreamed about it. They spent so much time just like fantasizing and dreaming about it that it became real for them. And this is how it works, man. You need to visualize and practice and rehearse all day, every day, man. And if you're embarrassed about it, you think it's weird, okay, you don't got to do it in front of someone. You can do it by yourself. All right, but record yourself. Send me your video. I want to make sure the timing is right. You're doing it correctly. I can look at your hand motions and tell you, yeah, that bike will lift up. Nah, you ain't doing it right. Your bike would never come up like that. I can look and see your motions and tell you if the bike would respond to that or not. It's that serious to where if you can't even do it without the bike, number one, you're not going to get the desired result when you get on the bike, and you might even get yourself into trouble. So just do this drill. Watch the video over and over again until you know, look, I got the perfect rhythm. My timing is perfect. But this is how you pop the clutch. Burn, 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 burn. See, there's two tones. If you notice, there's two tones. All right? Burn. Okay? RPM's building, clutch dump to where the power starts going to the ground. Burn, burn, burn. But it's fast, okay? It's not a delayed, it's not burn. No. It's just quick. It's just quick. All right? Burn, 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 burn. Now, keep in mind, I'm doing it fast because, I'm just practicing, rehearsing. But remember, when you're actually riding, you will be moving, okay? So when you do a rep, right, and you make an attempt, you need to space out your attempts. A lot of guys, when they're first learning, they get scattered. They're like, burn, 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 it's not working, burn, burn. Listen, you have to reset and regather when you're actually on the bike. All right, so you'll do one clutch up, burn, okay? And then you need to reset, regather, recenter yourself, and then go for your next clutch up. Burn, reset, regather, recenter yourself, and then go for your next clutch up. Burn, okay? Stay in the same gear, get comfortable with that gear, return to the same speed so you can learn how the bike acts at that speed and that range of the power. Because each range is different, requiring adjustment and different amounts of throttle and input. So when you're learning, you want to keep things consistent so you can get good at it so it doesn't change up too much. So that's how you pop the clutch. And this is how you visualize. Okay, visualizing is key. All right, I ride my bike all day, not because I actually have my bike with me all day. It's because at any moment, I just start wheeling. Practicing, acting like I'm holding balance point, acting like I'm dropping back. In my mind, I'm dropping back. In my mind, I'm doing all these moves. Maybe I can do them in real life. Maybe I can't. But I know the more I visualize it, like my brain doesn't know the difference between me visualizing and real reality. The brain does not know the difference. So start training your mind to what you want it to do and what you want it to learn. Start programming it into your nervous system. This is next level information, all right? Master your clutch ups, master your wheelies, perfect your wheelies through visualization, through rehearsing, go through the motions. You want to implement your foot brake, start, foot brake, give it throttle. You want to practice the one hand, drop the one hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your time to just be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Then next thing you know, you get on the bike, things start to click a lot more naturally. You're not trying to figure it out while you're moving. That is the worst thing you can do. Timing is all effed up. You don't really know what you're doing because you skipped this first step in the mental preparation. You're not mentally prepared. I'm telling you, do not sleep on this. I'm not gonna waste my time to tell you this if it's not important, bro. And I'm not gonna stress it to you like I'm stressing it to you. Guys always sleep. Oh, it's like stretching. Like, everyone knows you should stretch, but no one ever stretches. It's one of those things. Like, I'm telling you, you need to do this, and people don't want to do it. Like, bro, this is part of what made me, and this is what made every single champion that we know. Visualize.